Okay, it's been several years since I suspended this project. So here's where we're at. So I fixed up the humbucker cavity. I ended up putting some, it's kind of like this wood putty that's very, very strong, and it's very, very solid. I sanded it down. So now it's pretty even. But in doing so, there was a couple of problems with the old bridge that I was planning to put on this. So this is the bridge that originally was going to go on the project, but we ran into a problem with the scale length. So let me show that right now. Okay, so I got the Telecaster body and neck together. They're not screwed on, but I think it's flat enough. So I measured from the nut all the way over to the bridge. So this bridge should be about 25.5 scale length. It's a 25 and 5/8, so that is too long, too far. And I pushed this bridge as close to the pickguard I could, but it's not going to make a bit of difference. I adjusted the saddles to push them all the way forward, and that's as close as it's going to be to 25.5 inch scale length. On this side, yeah, we're too far off. We're a little closer there, but we're still too far off. And I don't want to have problems with intonation later on. So we're gonna have to go over to a plan B. Okay, so I threw out that other bridge aside. So we're not gonna be using this for the build. Like I mentioned, it's unfortunate, but I can't afford bad intonation. So this is the top loader bridge. Holes underneath where you can just shove the string right underneath the saddles and up through the saddles. And then we got the roller saddles that I bought for this build. We now have a humbucker ring, and this fits perfectly in there. So I've kind of just soft mounted the neck because I will probably, before I drill any holes there, I will probably put up a string and try to test to make sure that the bridge is going to be straight. And I will also have to make sure that my scale length is correct. Now, from what I've measured, as you can see, we're at 25.5, going all the way to the nut. Okay. And there's also some room for adjustment if we need to push them forward or back. So if you ask me, I think we're doing okay with this one. But today we're not going to worry too much about mounting anything on the top because we still have a lot of work to do. We got to shape the headstock, and then we have to work on our carves. So this guitar is going to have this type of neck plate. We're going to shave off part of it. I've already made the lines, and we shouldn't be too deep for me to round that off. It'll give me better access when I want to get to those high frets. So the dowel went in fine. I know that it doesn't look completely full in there, but we are going to shave off most of this. So I'm hoping that the deeper we go, it'll level out and the dowel will fill in that hole. If we have any other problems, then I'll have to put another dowel in or something. I seriously doubt it because this has been curing for a couple of days already, so it's rock solid. So all I gotta do is shave it off and hopefully shave off whatever chunk is left there, and then it should even out, and then we should have maybe just a little circle there that I can just, you won't be able to notice once I stain it and lacquer it all up. So we have not carved out this part of the body. I went ahead and redid part of my line because I did not like how deep this looked. This looked a little bit too deep. If I do desire to go a little bit deeper, I'll probably adjust this a bit, but I don't want to be too harsh because I might cut too much into the body and I don't want that. For this project, using this pickup that I made from Harbor Freight. It's a angle grinder. It takes up to 4.5. So I got this 4.5, and I also got this 4-inch. We'll probably try out the 4-inch to see how well it does with the pocket that we're trying to angle. I've seen tutorials on YouTube on how to grind wood, and everyone always mentions that you got to be super careful that not to go too deep, because this thing will be pretty quick at sanding down or grinding down wood. So we're gonna take it slow. I'm gonna do a touch there until I completely shave off what I need to shave off. And then we'll leave a little bit of leg room so that I can just hand sand that part and make it nice and level and straight. Then we'll try it out on the belly cut, and then hopefully I don't have to do too much hand sanding there, because that's actually a larger part. And then hopefully we'll have the cuts done today, and we'll start on the neck tomorrow. Okay, so we have our body all set up. The lines have already been drawn out. Start grinding away and see if we don't grind too much. Hopefully we don't. So I'm very satisfied with the way that this came out. The grinder was definitely an awesome idea. This has already been sanded down, and I ground the angle that I wanted, and totally helps with the angle of this guitar. The neck plate is now a perfect fit. So there's a neck plate, and then the dowel. I mean, I guess you can see it, but once I stain it, you know, maybe it'll be a little less obvious. I mean, that right there is not really a big deal to me. What I was more caring about is that the dowel would cover up the hole, which it did. So now that is a perfect cover for that. So what's left is basically sanding down the belly cut. I'm starting to see that this wood is very soft, and it doesn't take a lot of force to start sanding down. Actually, the lighter it is, the more control you have. Any advice that I would give anyone for grinding anything on a guitar or on a solid piece of wood. I'm gonna go ahead and start grinding down on the belly cut, and then we'll see what kind of results we get from there. So now we have the Telecaster mounted up. We have our line drawn, and hopefully everything goes well. Okay, so the belly cut has been completed. I was able to contour it. This is a side view. I'm satisfied with how much I shaved off. I think the grinder was a lot of help. I was able to shave everything that I needed to shave off, and pretty much not have to carve anything by hand. It didn't take too much, but I was very slow when I carved it. And now we have this very smooth, very comfortable contour on the body. And then not to mention the contour we made along the neck joint, so that way it's going to be very easy to grab if you want to hit those high notes. We pretty much just have to figure out the exact positions of the bridge. Basically start sanding one last time and then staining, and hopefully get this thing assembled in the next couple of days. The next video will definitely have to do more with the neck. I'm looking into making the headstock shape and testing out the assembly so that we can start putting together the bridge and the holes. And then I have to figure out if there's any holes that I need to cover. But I am very happy with how far along we've gone. I put this project off for 4 years, but at least now the contour is done, and the contour along the neck is done. So for now, DIY Telecaster is basically almost halfway done.